Hey, what's up, guys? Josiah. Yeah, it's been a long time since I made a video for you guys, and since it's been so long, I want to go ahead and just give you guys a quick kind of like a rundown update sort of thing of everything that's been kind of going on lately. And the way I'm going to do this, and if you're following me on Twitter, you'll notice that I posted about it. I'm probably going to split it up into like tech in one video and non-tech stuff on the other side. And I want to go ahead and start it off with like my non-tech stuff because honestly, been the biggest reason why I haven't been posting a lot of videos lately. And I know I had mentioned something about this to you guys when this semester started, but basically, this is kind of like my make it or break it semester. And the reason for that is, for those of you who don't know, I took a bunch of time off before I went back this past fall semester. And between that semester and this semester, they're kind of like the ones that I needed to make sure that I landed, just to make sure that I was on top of everything and that I can get my co-op for next spring. So I've been so focused, honestly, like it's all school. I'm not just trying to make excuses for it. I've been so focused on my schooling and stuff that every time it seems like I've tried to sit down and make a video, my mind won't concentrate for long enough to actually get anything that you guys would even want to see, see it posted. Um, so as far as school goes, basically it's been going well. I have 5 classes total and a couple like smaller classes like linked to those. And so far they're all going fairly well. 2 of them at least I know for sure I've got A's in. They're health and ethics. And health is pretty self-explanatory. It's basically just typical health stuff. If you ever had one in high school or secondary school or whatever you call it, um, it's basically just it talks about what health is and what it means to be physically fit. And right now, the section we're getting into is like nutrition and like vitamins, minerals, and supplements and stuff. And then ethics is kind of like a blow off class because honestly, it seems like all these people that we're learning about, they're just kind of throwing random ideas out and they didn't really have anything substantial to bring to the table. Um, so I mean, I'm pretty much set in doing okay in those. And as far as the other classes that I'm kind of maybe having a little bit more of a difficult time with, it's I have PChem, and we just came out of our stoichiometry section. And basically, for those of you who don't know, it's basically like titrations where you try to get the pH of a substance to be a certain amount, or basically like neutralize a solution. And so that was basically like that's something I always seemed like I struggled with, just because it didn't seem like I was patient enough. And for those of you who have done it, you'll probably know like phenolphthalein and like color indicators and stuff. I've always been the one to be like, come on, just pour out the stuff in the burette, and then it passes the equivalence point, and I'm like, shoot, I got to start all over again. Um, but that's basically what we've been doing lately. That class is going well. I didn't do so hot on my first exam because it was computer based, and I just don't do well on computer based tests. But as far as all like my homeworks and stuff go, so far so good. My other 2 classes are differential equations and mechanics of solids. Now, DiffEq, the main reason it's difficult for me right now is that my professor is Indian. And I have nothing against like foreign professors or professors who use kind of like a combination of Indian and English in their teaching. But this guy, it seems like unless you're doing 100% in his class, you're on his bad side, and that's the hard thing. Is like that's my first class in the morning, and we have so little parking on campus that several times, I've been like 1 or 2 minutes late, and you may as well have shot him in the face for all he cares, because when you walk in late, you're disrupting class. And I mean, there's been times where I've gotten on campus like half an hour early and still could not get a parking space. So that's just been my main issue with that class. As far as my tests and quizzes and homeworks and stuff go, so far so good. Most of my homeworks I've gotten 80s or higher. My quiz is pretty average, somewhere in like the 90s range. And then my first exam did not go well just because I was trying to prepare for other exams at the same time, and I didn't put enough time into it. But going back from spring break, I will have an exam like straight off, so I need to make sure that I study for that this week. And then my final class is mechanics of solids, and for those of you who aren't familiar with it, it's basically like analyzing structures and kind of just trying to analyze what the forces, shear stresses, that kind of stuff are on it. So like torques, and the section we're doing right now has to do with like bending moments, and like if you have a beam supported with like a pin at one end and a roller at the other end, like what are the forces if you apply like a concentrated load here and a like a graduated load along here. And I mean it's pretty complicated, and the only reason that I'm struggling with that is that it seems like everybody else is like, oh yeah, and most of the people taking the class have done like some kind of machining, or they're a little bit more like mechanically minded. And honestly, like I thought I used to be, but I'm realizing now that I missed out by not doing a lot of like the construction stuff with my dad that he was doing back when I was growing up, or like like working on the car. Most of these guys are already familiar with the stuff that we're studying because they've actually seen it working in real life. And that's my thing is if I can see it, and if I can see like a real life application for it, I can enjoy learning about it. But if I can't, I mean, if it's just some abstract, like they throw out a bunch of symbols and they're like, all right, here's your equation, plug and chug. And I'm like, what am I plugging and chugging? I don't even know what this equation means. There's like 20 different variables in it. So, I mean, I think the term is like math anxiety. And it's basically like if you don't know the stuff that leads up to the concepts that you're supposed to be learning, there's no way that it's going to make sense. And for some reason, just stuff at the beginning of the class, I thought it clicked. And as we're getting more into like applying these concepts to what I'm learning, gosh, there's so much more to it. So I mean, this is basically what I've been doing for like the last couple months here actually, is just really trying to make sure that I understand these concepts, because once I move on from this semester, it doesn't get any easier, and I need to make sure that I keep my priorities. Now, for those of you guys who have stuck around, especially like my latest set of subscribers, I really appreciate it, guys, because honestly, like I've still gotten quite a bit of support. I actually had several people email me asking me if I was okay, or stuff like that. So I mean, I do appreciate that, and the reason that I'm trying to at least take advantage of spring break is that I do enjoy making videos. It's just that, like I said, it seemed like every time that I tried to sit down and put a video together for you guys, my mind was so focused on my schooling, just because I've been working so hard at it, that I really couldn't get anything more than even 2 minutes together. And that's just something I've never been able to do very well, is like just sitting there and talking. Um, I like to be able to get to the point, and I know many of you have noticed this. But I mean, I don't want to waste you guys' time, so I want to make sure that the videos that I'm putting out are worth your time watching. So I do plan on also up. Excuse me, I'm a little bit sick here. I'm getting over a cold. If you guys have any suggestions as far as video ideas, or if you have any questions that I could answer in a video that I would probably make later on this week, feel free to post it below, and I'll try to get around to answering it in my video. My other video that I'm going to be making as an update is about my tech stuff, about my MacBook, my iPod Touch, and stuff like that. So definitely keep your eye out for that. Hopefully I'll have time for it tomorrow. I actually have to get ready for work right now. As you can see, I got my work shirt on, but I will be working all afternoon, and they were really cool about giving me some good hours during spring break, and that's something I've always really appreciated about where I work, is that they try to work with you, especially if you're in college, because I know that you deal with a lot of stress as it is, and you don't need to deal with even more stress because of them giving you a bad schedule or something. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready for that. I hope you guys, and I didn't put a whole lot into this update, but it was more just to let you guys know, yes, I am alive. I've been so focused on school. So again, if you have any comments or questions, feel free to post them below, and I'll try to get around to answering them sometime this week. But in the meantime, I look forward to hearing from you guys, and again, thanks for everybody who stuck around and subscribed, and I will hopefully talk to you all soon. Bye.